What is up, guys? As you can see by the title below, I recently bought one of my dream cars, and I want y'all to pause this video and leave a comment below and let me know what you think the car is. And I'm going to drop the B-roll in 3, 2. Alright, so what type of YouTuber would I be if I didn't do a first impression / pros and cons video on my new car? So I'm going to say the 5 things that I like and the 5 things that I absolutely hate about this car. Alright, I'm going to start with the 5 things that I like. So 1, the color, Grabber Blue it's a little flashy, but it's such a beautiful color. I get comments on it all the time. Like, people walk up to me and are like, yo, that's like a dope color, or like this and that. And it kind of stands out because I don't see other cars in that color really often. So I really like it. So that's going to be the first thing that I really like. The second thing is going to be the manual transmission. When I was in Japan, I owned a 328i and a 350Z. And they were both auto, and I kept saying, like, my next car has to be manual. I need a manual car because I got so tired of driving the auto, and the manual just adds a little bit of fun to it. So I'm happy that this is manual. Sometimes I get annoyed by it, but it's like, it makes the driving experience more fun. It makes you kind of more aware of what's going on, so I really love it. Number 3 is going to have to be the seats. I feel like the seats kind of hug you in place, and I'm like 5'8", and I feel like it's like the perfect like hold. Like, I'm 5'8", 160 pounds, and I fit perfectly in the seats. And also they're good for long road trips. Like, I've sat in the seats for like it was last year I did a road trip from Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale, which was I think it was like an 8-9 hour drive. And I mean, yeah, I was a little sore, but compared to other cars, I felt like pretty comfortable sitting in that seat for that long. So I really like the seats. 4 is going to have to be the interior quality and I guess the overall look and feel. Like, Ford did all these little accents. Like, they have the Ford logo like on the passenger side, or like the Mustang logo on the passenger side. They have like the little carbon finish. The cup holders are like in a nice spot, like I could shift and everything, even with stuff in the cup holder, and it's not in the way. And like, when I had my 328i, the cup holders were in the worst position possible, and you had to reach across the cars to get to them, and it was so annoying. And 350Z, the cup holders were kind of like, if you try to even shift from like park to drive, although it wasn't a manual, it was still kind of annoying. So I think the cup holder placement is really nice. The little like ponies that it has all around the car on the steering wheel, the little like touches that they have, I think it's amazing and I love it. And 5, I will say the size, because I looked at Challengers and they're a really nice size, but they drive like a boat. And I've also looked at Camaros and they're really small, although they drive really nice. So the Mustang is like a nice in the middle. It drives nice, handles nice. And it's like kind of spacious. Like, it's not as spacious as the Challenger, but you could still fit people in your back seat somewhat comfortably. You have somewhat of a trunk, and it's not that bad, to be honest. And also, if you want, since it's a two-door, you could just tell people I don't have space and don't have to take your car places. All right, so now I'm going to talk about the 5 things that I absolutely hate. All right, so number 1 is, for some reason, Ford decided that the V6 Mustang, well, at least like the 2015 to 2018 V6 Mustangs, were only going to come in the base model. So, like, I've noticed that the gauges are different. I don't even have a like speedometer gauge, and it's really annoying sometimes. I also noticed that the radio, there's like, if I want to upgrade my radio, it's like $3,000 to get a bigger rear view camera and like the touchscreen radio, which is super annoying. And like some of the other premium features, but the other premium features are like not like that big of a deal, to be honest. Like, it's like the little accent lights and stuff like that. But why did they not think of doing at least a speedometer gauge? Like, why do I only have like 4 gauge options pretty much, and this small 3-inch screen that I can barely see behind me out of? And number 2 is going to be the visibility. I feel like I'm 5'8", and like my seating position for me to be able to shift and to be somewhat comfortable is a little low. But like I feel like the hood is like right at eye level, so it's like I low-key cannot see past my hood. And the bolsters on the side are like kind of decently sized, so sometimes if I'm at a certain stop sign with a tree or something, I have to like lean forward to look over. The rear window is also kind of hard to see out of sometimes, and you got the small rear view camera that like doesn't make any sense. So it's like overall visibility in a car is not the greatest. All right, so 3 is going to be the way the car warms up. I kind of worded that weird, but I've noticed with the like manual transmission, when my car is warming up, if it is not warmed up to a certain point, all of my shifts, no matter how hard I try, are just trash. The car is jerky, it's weird, the clutch feels weird. So it's like I have to like really warm up my car. So sometimes I have to like sit in the car for like maybe like 10 minutes or something and wait for it to get like kind of warmed up before I like leave. And it's kind of annoying if you're in a rush, so I really don't like that. I've had manual cars in the past and they didn't really have that issue, at least to the point of like where it's noticeable, like how it is on my car now. 4 will have to be the gas mileage. I know you don't get a sports car for the mileage, and it is a Mustang, but I have friends that are averaging like 20-25 miles per gallon, and I've rented Mustangs before and been able to I've been able to average like at least 20 miles per gallon. But in my car, I've gotten between 15 and maybe 17 miles per gallon, and it is like, with gas prices being this high right now, it is so bad. And I've literally made it to the point, like gas prices are starting to like drop, and I have a quarter tank of gas left, and I'm like, instead of filling up my car like I usually do, I'm just going to try to make this quarter tank last for like till the end of the week at least, because I'm like, I'm not trying to put gas and then the gas prices drop like another 10 cents and I'm like, dang, I just took an L. So I'm gonna play it out because I can't do these gas prices anymore. And 5 will have to be the stereotype military guy Mustang. I get called out on it sometimes, and I'm like, honestly, I looked at Focus STs, I looked at GTIs, I looked at Q50s, I've looked at STIs, and I had all these cars on my list. And my mom was like, the GTI, the Focus ST look like old people cars, they're girly. Well, she didn't say anything about the Q50 and the STI, but I know like compared to the Mustang, the reliability and the like, I guess, price to upgrade and get like certain things out of it is like a lot more, so I kind of steered away from those. But the Mustang wasn't my first choice. Like, it is one of my dream cars, but it wasn't my first choice. I'm also gonna throw in this random thing which I really don't like. I think it's just my car specifically, so I have to get it looked at, but it might be maybe a general Mustang thing. My handbrake, for some reason, if I'm on a bumpy road or something, it'll like shake, and then my brake light will come on, and I'll have to like click it and push it down, and it feels kind of loose, and I don't know if that's just a regular Mustang thing or if that's my car. So like, leave a comment below if like it is a regular Mustang thing and if there's maybe a recall or something on it. But I'm probably gonna go to Ford or something and like get it looked at anyways. And that's my video. I do honestly love this car, and I feel like it's an honor. Like, although it's a V6 and the V6 gets so much hate and stuff, it's like, it's still a Mustang, and this car was not cheap. So I'm like, I'm happy that I have the opportunity to own one. And I mean, leave a comment below if you also own a Mustang or rethink about getting one and doing your research. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more.